Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hasn't been quite as long a wait this time for this video as it was for the last one, so it's good to keep the momentum going. Today I'm going to chat about one of the funds that I have in my portfolio, which personally I feel is fantastic. As always, just my thoughts, go away, do your own research. But this is one that I particularly enjoy investing in. So if you're based in the UK, Hargreaves Lansdown is a fantastic broker, in my opinion, to get involved with if you're interested in investment funds. So if you just go on to their homepage, here you go. You can see along the top the different options, and if you click on funds, as I've highlighted here, then it'll bring you to this page. So here, if you know what you're looking for, you can just search for it. If not, you can use the different filters to set what yield you want, what charges you feel are acceptable for your portfolio, that kind of thing. This is quite an interesting feature here. So this is something unique to Hargreaves Lansdown, and this is their Wealth 50 shortlist. So these are funds that they believe are a good choice for the longer term. So it's worth considering that. Again, it's just their opinion. It's not exactly gospel, but worth considering nevertheless. I usually factor those in whenever I'm making my decision, to be honest, into which new funds to add to my portfolio. So here are some of the different sections for each fund, and this is the one that I feel is a very good choice. So different things you can see here at a glance, as it says in the top left hand corner. So there's no initial charges applying to this for adding this fund to your portfolio. And if you look at performance as well, it gives you a bit of a guide here on the right hand side. So more than 10% growth every year for the last 5 years. Again, past performance is no guarantee of future performance, but it gives you an idea that it's a pretty good choice. If we scroll down a little bit, this is a really key factor to consider in the bottom left hand corner. It's something, to be honest, I probably didn't pay enough attention to at the beginning of investing, but these are the ongoing charges that the investment funds will charge you on an annual basis. So it's very low on this particular one. It's 0.06%, which is well below the average, certainly that I have anyway, within my portfolio. So this is definitely a key factor to consider. There's no point having a high rate of growth every year if you're paying a very high fee as well. Scrolling on down then, we've got a little bit more information, as you can see here. So on the left hand side, it talks about the size of the fund. So there's £5.3.5 billion worth within this fund, 615 different holdings within it. So it's quite a spread, quite a diverse fund, which some might see as minimizing the risk. That's certainly the way I see it anyway. The yield here on the right hand side, so some of the funds that I have are dividend paying funds, and they'll actually pay the dividend out. With this particular one that I've got, it's an accumulation fund, so any dividend is automatically basically reinvested back in to buy more units within this particular fund. This just tells you the yield and how often it's paid out and the date. So when you scroll on down a little bit further on this at a glance page for each of the funds, it talks about the top 10s. So firstly, the top 10 holdings. So you can see here with this one, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Tesla, JP Morgan, Johnson & Johnson. So they're all big, familiar brands that do very well or have done very well historically. So again, it's a good sort of foundation for this fund, I feel. Top 10 sectors as well, so no big surprise that software and technology are right at the top. But again, there's quite a good spread here. It's not too heavily dependent on one particular area. And finally then we have countries. So some of the funds that I have again are looking completely at an even spread internationally. Some are looking at the Asian markets. As you can tell here, this one is focused on the US market, the biggest stock market in the world. So definitely a good option to have within your portfolio if you're maybe a UK based investor, as I am. Then you can move across the options at the top, and there's this section, the charts and performance. So this just gives a visual representation as to how this fund has performed over the past 5 years. So it's definitely going in that direction. You can see the drop last year whenever the COVID pandemic was starting off, and the oil stocks and the big banks all took a dip. But you can see the strong recovery throughout 2021. If we move on then, and you scroll down in that particular page, it gives you a bit of a breakdown. So it has the year-on-year change, and then it also has the cumulative performance as well. So over 100% growth in the past 5 years. So if you invested 5 years ago, your money now would be up more than double, over 103% growth. This section is quite interesting as well. I just put in the top of it, but they have the Hargreaves Lansdown research. So this is their view on the fund. When you scroll on down, it's quite detailed actually. It'll give you all kinds of thoughts that they have on the fund. But again, as always, best to make your own decision. It's a nice guide though to have, I think. The next one then, if you scroll over again, is the fund analysis. So again, this will break it down in terms of how the assets are allocated. So you can see here, now this is based upon being in the UK, 98% almost is international equities. So again, obviously the US market here. But when you look at other funds, it can be a lot more diversely split, this section. When you scroll on down then, it'll give you a bit more of a breakdown again in terms of the locations along the top, as you can see. And then down the left hand side, you've got the different sectors. So again, technology is heavily weighted here, along with financials and the consumer discretionary. So here's the big reveal. It's actually the Legal & General US Index Fund. As you can see here, it's the accumulation version, Class C, and the little green star on the right hand side indicates that currently it is part of the Hargreaves Lansdowne Wealth 50 sort of recommended funds, if you like. So a good option overall, and within my particular portfolio, I've had this fund for maybe about 2 years, a little bit longer. I've got about £12,000 currently in the fund, and during that time I've been investing monthly, every month, add a bit more in, and at this moment in time I'm currently up about 20%. It's fluctuating in around 20%. So overall, a very solid performer in my opinion. Okay, that's everything for this one. Just a short video to talk about that particular fund. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you could hit the like button, that'd be great. If you could also subscribe, that would also be greatly appreciated. I'll just leave a few more videos here. If you want to check them out, feel free, and hopefully it'll not be too long until I have my next update video online. Thank you.